Welcome back to Hockey on DC 20. I'm Al Koken, and during this first intermission by Sunday, Kelly Miller. Before we talk about Sunday, let's talk a little bit about tonight and ask you particularly about Paul. We know how much of a problem Mario Lemieux can give everybody, but the Penguins have added Paul Coffey to the lineup as one of the Capital forecheckers and a guy who's going to be going out there and has to keep an eye on Coffey. How do you play this guy?
Well, the idea is to try to get on him as soon as possible, not let him get any steam up. And it's tough to do because he gets swinging. He swings from his side over to the other defenseman's side, and it's kind of tough to stay with him. But if you can get on him right away, then before he can get up speed, you got a lot better chance.
And teaming up with Lemieux, it makes that power play awful potent. Even though they're ranked only, I think, 12th overall, it still is an amazing unit, and you just don't know where to look to where they're going to get their offense.
Yeah, we're going to have to take fewer penalties these next two periods. You keep giving them chances, they're going to score on you, and they got kind of a cheap goal of that first one there, but they've had a lot of good chances off it, so hopefully we can stay out of the box and keep them off the ice.
Let's talk about Sunday a minute. It's awful tough when you play so many regular season games. You get right back in it, but how long did you savor that overtime goal on Sunday?
Well, for about a day, and that was about it. I think the Redskin game overshadowed that goal by a long ways, with the festivities afterwards for the Redskins. But it was a good feeling, and hopefully we'll have a couple more feelings like that the rest of the way here.
I talked to all your teammates, and to a man, everybody was so happy that you got the goal. They talk about all the hard work you do, and a little of it shows up in the scoring column. Do you get a sense of the respect your teammates have for you?
Well, I think that everybody respects hard work, and if you come ready to play every game, you got to be respected for that. And so, I think if we can get 20 guys going as hard as they can each night, we're going to be a heck of a team down the stretch here.
Is there just a time where you come out and you just don't feel like doing it? I've never seen you stop skating, but in an 80-game regular season, I got to imagine there's got to be some slow point.
Well, I felt a little sluggish out there this first period. I'm hoping that the second and third period will get going here and start getting the legs back. But the first period, I felt a little sluggish. And when you feel a little sluggish, you just it's just a mind game. It's mind over the body, and you got to tell it to get going, and hopefully it'll respond.
All right, Kelly, we appreciate the visit, and for being our intermission guest, Kelly Miller receives a $50 gift certificate from Dash's Designer Menswear. We'll return with more intermission activity from the Civic Arena after these messages here on Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Capitals, of course, tonight in this first intermission, battling the Pittsburgh Penguins, a major Patrick Division showdown. More Patrick Division games come to the Capitol Center this weekend. Friday night, it's the New York Islanders in town, and on Saturday night, it is a battle against the New York Rangers. And all kids 16 and under receive this Mike Gartner growth poster, courtesy of the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company. And Mike Gartner, how'd you get involved in this?
I think he's bigger than I am. What do you think, Hal?
I want to know now. We got skates on you on this poster, but you're almost up to 6'4". You're like one of these big forwards in the NHL now, right? You could be playing for the Calgary Flames at this size.
Well, those extra blades, they help a few inches. So 6 foot, 6'3", 6'4", that's about right, I guess.
When you were a kid, did you collect a lot of stuff, a lot of hockey memorabilia? I'm sure kids 16 and under are going to get this thing. It's a real nice little giveaway, something that wasn't done a lot in the early days. Were you able to collect a lot of little souvenirs and pick-me-ups?
No, they didn't have a lot of those types of things, especially these big blow-up pictures. I think most of them, if they did have them, they were black and white pictures. They didn't have the nice color pictures, so it's a nice souvenir for the kids. I think Rod Langway's done it. I think Scott Stevens has done it, Bobby Carpenter, so maybe a kid will have a little collection by the time he's done.
And Mike Gartner will be appearing in bedrooms all over the Washington area with his growth poster. Tickets are available for that game on Saturday night. Mike, thank you, and we'll return with more intermission activity after these words here on DC 20.
Penguins have the lead over the Washington Capitals after 20 minutes of play here at the Civic Arena tonight. Mike Fornes and Al Koken welcoming you back once again to our DC 20 coverage tonight of the Capitals and the Penguins. Well, Washington had done a very good job in killing off the Pittsburgh power plays, and it was at the very end of one of those while Scott Stevens was in the penalty box that Mario Lemieux managed to send one in off the goal stick of Pete Peters. And it's a good play for Peters to get that stick out there. He's trying to keep the man parked in front of the net from getting the puck, but this one took a bounce right back between his skates.
Well, you'll see it better from the other angle we'll show you, but this is the great indication of how quickly Lemieux gets around, and with that reach, seemingly sitting himself right behind the net, with that reach, he's able to swing around in front and send it into the traffic where anything can happen. Now, as you see it here, watch again how quickly Lemieux gets around, but look at the angle of Pete Peters' goal stick. You're right, Mike, in that it's a good play to cut it off because there's Collender who he's trying to get it to, but it's just before he can get the angle completely set. It's perfect, so it just bounces right back in towards him and eventually off his skate. But when you got a guy like Mario Lemieux who's always around and with that tremendous reach and goal-scoring touch, that's the ability around there. Even though it's kind of a fluky goal, he makes those type of goals. He makes the defense scramble around, goaltender scramble around. That is the beauty of his game.
The Penguins outshot the Capitals 12-9 during the first period tonight. Let's take a look now at the other scores around the National Hockey League. First of all, that Patrick Division battle between the Islanders and the Rangers that we're keeping tabs on. They're just underway. There's no score. John Van Beesbrook against Billy Smith in goal in that contest. Buffalo at Quebec, it's now 2-0. Christian Rutu's 23rd of the year, combined with the earlier goal by Scott Arneal, has given the Sabres a 2-0 lead over the Nordiques. Los Angeles at Vancouver later on. And we'll also be keeping you up to date on the Bullets game tonight being played against New York. Right now, it's a 1-0 Penguin lead, and we'll be back with tonight's second.
DC-20. Anything more?
We're back for the start of period 2 here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. As always, Mike, there seem to be a lot of people who want to say hello to friends and family back in Washington who attend this game. Hello to Ken Sims Saramet, from Joe Polk Platt, from Mark, Debbie, Patty, and Bev Sims, to Tim Haggerty in Rockville, Maryland, from Bill, Matt Hoffman, and Eric Udler, who loyal Caps fans go to Frostburg State University. They say hello to their mothers and ask to send money. And longtime Cap season ticket holder Naomi, hello to her mom and dad. She's up watching the game this evening. Also, a reminder coming up in the second intermission, the long-awaited conclusion of the Capitals Golf Classic. Remember, the team was playing for 4 days off in Los Angeles this month. Rod Langway playing the game of his life. He was ahead, but the players are not sure if Rod Langway is playing fair or square, so we will have the conclusion, the final holes. The Capitals Classic, that comes up in our second intermission.
The Penguins won, the Capitals nothing. We're ready to go with period number 2. 1 minute 46 seconds remaining on that penalty call to Rod Langway for cross-checking. And Pittsburgh starting out the period here on the power play with Paul Coffey leading it ahead. Off Lemieux's stick, back inside. The Washington zone, Scott Stevens finds an opening and sends it all the way down the ice. Here's Zimmer. Leads it to Coffey. It's across the line. Wrist shot. That just went wide. Rebound. Peters has to scramble to his left and dive across the goal mouth to make the save.
Boy, Paul Coffey just missed. Look how much room he's got to shoot on that short side. Barely misses, but then Pete Peters showing great quickness to get over and cover up as the puck came right back out to Coffey. Here you see, look how much room Paul Coffey has got on that glove hand side to shoot. He tries for it. Remember, he's got the left-hand shot, so Pete Peters covering more to that side, but that crazy carom forces Pete Peters into action. He sprawls to make another spectacular save. 1:08 left in the penalty.
Coffey at the right point, Doug Bodger at the left. And the players come in the circle too quickly. They'll drop the face-off again. Here's the draw. The Penguins take it. Dan Quinn sets up. Back to the point. Coffey over to Quinn. Tries to throw it rink wide, and it still gets through Sundstrom over against the board. Lemieux. Back to Quinn. Cunnyworth fires for the upper corner, just missing. As Peters gets that arm on it, in the crook of his arm, trying to stop play, and there'll be another face-off with 48 seconds left to go in the penalty call to Langway.
Well, that's another terrific save by Peters. You see how Cunnyworth has got an option to send it over to Lemieux, and I think the Capitals were playing exactly that way. Pete Peters was the guy who stood there and made the save. He had plenty of room. Stevens was down in front trying to cut off that passing lane to Lemieux. Randy Cunnyworth took advantage of a quick eye shot and another strong save early in this period by Pete Peters.
Dan Quinn wins another face-off. This goes to the sideboards, and he's the man in to try and get it. But the Capitals' Scott Stevens picks it up and clears it all the way down. Paul Coffey back to retrieve. 35 seconds to go in the Pittsburgh power play with Langway in the box. Charges into the corner. Stevens back to check Lemieux. Now Hatcher tries to move it along. Back to the point. Here's Coffey. Over to Bodger. Into the corner for Lemieux. At the side of the net. Cunneyworth tries to wrap it around, and the play broken up by Sundstrom. And he starts to center ice. Right back to the Washington line. Here comes Quinn. Fires, and Peters the save with his skate. Now Hatcher picks it up and sends it all the way down the ice to ease the pressure. The penalty's over. Langway's back, and the Capitals are at full strength. Here's Gustafson. Walks in. Sees Langway cutting in. Now fires the shot. That's blocked. And Cunneyworth is upended on the play by Greg Adams. And Cunneyworth is still down. Cunneyworth was not expecting any type of a hit like he got from Greg Adams in that situation, and it looks like he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Take a look and see how it happens. You see the shot by Adams, pretty clean, gets the hip in there, gets that shoulder down, and the stick is not up anywhere near Cunneyworth's face. We've got a break in the action. The Pittsburgh Penguins still leading this hockey game by a 1-0 score. Take a look at the right side of your screen, and this is the hit that Greg Adams lays on Randy Cunneyworth. You see the shoulder down, the hip in there. Good checking position. Cunneyworth, by the way, is up, skated to the Pittsburgh bench under his own power.
Here's Langway back in his own zone, chased by Lee Giffen. Sends the puck up the boards to the point. Hillier keeps it in play for Pittsburgh. Back to Hunter. Both clubs at full strength. Here comes Dave Christian starting out to center ice. Gets inside the Penguin zone. Tries to work free from Hillier. Slams on the brakes, loses his edge. Now Christian coming back, walks in front, a shot right on goal. Murphy put it onto the stick of Peter Angelo, who made the save. Now Murphy another try. This drive is caught, and now a stick from, I believe, Adams getting up onto Peter Angelo, trying to work it free, and he's quickly challenged by Jim Johnson, moving him out of there. There's a break in the action with a score. The Penguins 1 and the Capitals 0.
Pittsburgh's Dave Hunter in the box for holding. Time for the second Circuit City Power Play contest. Contestant number 2, Harriet Gross of Kensington, Maryland. And Harriet has chosen Dave Christian as the Caps player to score. If Christian scores, Harriet receives a video or stereo unit courtesy of Circuit City. By the way, if you'd like to enter, just send your name, address, phone number on a postcard along with the name of the player you think will score in the power play to Circuit City Power Play contest, Capitol Center, Landover, Maryland, 20785.
The draw comes back to the point. Here's Larry Murphy with the puck. Feeds it rink wide for Gustafson. Back to Murphy. One time's a drive. It's deflected wide. Now back over to Galley. Gary Galley jams up along the sideboards with Dan Quinn. The puck comes out to Gartner. He feeds it over to Murphy. Murphy a shot. He had Hunter parked right in the slot, but couldn't get it up to him. It bounces over his stick to the corner. Now Gustafson chasing behind the goal. And Coffey clears to the point. Gary Galley keeps it in. Over to Gartner, right in front of the net. Just missed. Good scoring chance for the Capitals. Here's Hunter. He turns and can't get the shot off. The Penguins come back, shorthanded. Coffey just flips it all the way down, and Pittsburgh changes on the fly. The Capitals send out Ridley with Adams. Murphy and Galley are still there. Dave Christian will jump on here as soon as Gartner gets back to the bench. Gary Galley. Into the corner. Coffey keeps it going. It comes out of the zone, and Murphy has to chase it back to his own line. Christian's on the ice. Gartner heads to the bench. The puck goes to the corner. Here's Greg Adams. Stops. Bumped off the play. Christian alongside to help out. And the puck cleared out to center. 35 seconds to go in the Pittsburgh penalty to Dave Hunter. 2 minutes for holding at 2:49 in the first period. Here's Ridley charging to the corner. To Adams. Taken off the play, and now back come the Penguins. Steve Godis. Long drive. Peters kicks that out. Here's Ridley to come back. One more rush for the Capitals here with 10 seconds left in the power play. It's stolen. And the puck cleared back to the Washington line for Scott Stevens. That takes care of the penalty. Dave Hunter's back on the ice, and the Penguins are at full strength. Kevin Hatcher to Stevens. Scott Stevens to the blue line of Pittsburgh. Up ahead to Franciscetti. Dekes his way right in front with a pass off the pads of the Pittsburgh goalkeeper, Peter Angelo, but no Capital could grab the rebound. The Penguins again clear it. Lemieux takes it across the line on the right wing, fires, and Peters with a stick save. Rebound back from the point. That's wide. Now Lemieux tries to center, and Hatcher takes it and clears it off the boards to center ice. Lundstrom knocked down on the play at center, but tries to forecheck. The puck cleared ahead for Lemieux. He's across the line. Hunter right on goal. A save by Peters with his stick. Hustling in is Dahlquist, back of the goal, tries to wrap it around, and Peters manages to hold him off. And now the play broken up as Peters hangs on, and Scott Stevens doing some house cleaning in front, trying to keep those Penguin forwards in defense, for that matter, with Dahlquist rushing in there, and they push him aside, and play is called with 14-15 remaining in the second period. As Peters was tested.
Good move by Chris Dahlquist. He got one shot, then got a second chance, and almost a third before the Capitals finally converged on him. You've got a defenseman coming in. It's one thing to get the one shot, but you can't give him those second and third opportunities. There, Hatcher and Stevens finally clear house, but that's too many opportunities for a defenseman not known for great offensive skills. You can guarantee yourself the best seat in the Capitol Center for all the remaining home games and home playoff contests. 13 regular season home games remain, and 9 of them against Patrick Division opponents. You can reserve a seat for all 13 or just 10 by calling the Caps office right now at 386-7000. Sales reps are standing by throughout tonight's game to answer any of your questions. Give them a call at 386-7000.
Gustafson works the draw, gets it over to Langway, and the pass to Corriveau is taken over by Giffen. At the point, Jim Johnson keeps it inside the Washington zone. Peters leaves it behind the net. It's cleared to the corner. Here's Ivan Corriveau trying to start out. He's checked by Dan Quinn. Now we've got a penalty call coming up, a delayed call against the Penguins. 2 minutes for cross-checking against Quinn as he knocked Corriveau down on the play. That'll put the Capitals up on the power play advantage. There's a break in the action with the score. Pittsburgh 1, Washington 0.
To the right of the screen, Dan Quinn gets that stick and just rubs it right up the back of Ivan Corriveau, knocking him down and getting a penalty call for cross-checking at 6:05 from referee Mike Noeth. Remember, the Penguins scored on their second power play in the first period. Here comes power play number 2 for the Washington Capitals in this stanza.
Stevens out there with Hatcher. Up front, it's Christian on the right, Ridley, and Adams. Scott Stevens keeps it inside the Pittsburgh zone. Brings it over now to Dave Christian. His play broken up, and back comes Randy Hillier for the Penguins. He's across the Washington line. Off the skates of Hatcher. It's Scott Stevens back to take over. Stevens rushes the puck to the blue line. Gets inside the Pittsburgh zone. Rink wide to Dave Christian. His slap shot wide of the net. And Dave Hunter picks it up for Pittsburgh. He sends it all the way down. Penguins 1, Capitals nothing. 13:05 to play here in the second period. 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining on the penalty call to Dan Quinn for cross-checking. That came at 6:05 of period 2. Gustafson in to throw a hit, takes the puck away. Over to Greg Adams. Adams to the side of the net. Here's Gustafson back of the goal. Waits on Adams in front. Now goes over to the corner, and it gets away, going all the way past Christian, out to center ice. Kevin Hatcher. Over to Gary Gallick. Gustafson takes over at center ice. 30 seconds left on the power play. Lemieux steals from Gartner and flips it ahead to center. The pass is onside. Here comes Cunnyworth cutting in front, and Galley is in there with his stick to sweep it away. Poked away from Galley now by Cunnyworth, back to the corner. Larry Murphy has to do some skating behind the net. Brings it over to Gustafson. Bank Gustafson ahead to Murphy. Murphy across the line. Feeds it on the right wing for Gartner. Back to Murphy. Back to Gartner. That's broken up. Here comes Coffey. Penalty's over. The Penguins at full strike. Coffey. Drop pass for Quinn. His shot blocked by Galley. And Galley leads it ahead now for Gustafsson. In on Villa-Siren. Gustafsson stops in the corner. Looks for Gartner. And Siren pins him to the boards. Dan Quinn starts out. Gustafsson near the end of his shift goes back to the bench. Bill Holder starts out for Gartner. Bobby Gould hops on the ice for the Capitals. Lead pass to center. Steve Godus gets it across the line for Troy Loney. Langway ties him up. The puck to the corner. Langway in on Godus. Centered, slap shot. Peters just got his shoulder on it. It deflects it wide. Sundstrom is hit by Dahlquist, and the puck comes back into the Pittsburgh zone. Here's Godus turning in his own end. Leads it to center. There's going to be a penalty call here against Washington. A delayed call. Peters holds it on the back of the net. And now the action is stopped with 10:45 to go in the second period. And a minor penalty for tripping is coming up here against the Washington Capitals. There's a break in the action with the score. Pittsburgh 1.
With any purchase in any participating Pizza Hut restaurant.
The Bullets also in action tonight. They lead the Knicks 36-35 in the second quarter at Madison Square Garden. And be sure to be with WDCA TV 20 Saturday night, the 13th of February, as the Bullets travel to Atlanta to take on Dominique Wilkins and the Hawks. It's live at 7:30. Join Mel Proctor and Phil Chenier as they call all the action right here on your superstation for sports, DC 20. The penalty is to Lou Francischetti, getting the leg out and tripping up Steve Godus, giving the Penguins the power play at 9:15.
Here's Quinn for Pittsburgh, cuts across the face-off circle. Hatcher's long reach breaks up that pass play, and Gustafsson slaps it all the way down. Well, it's cut off at center ice. Coffey has taken over, now over to Bodger. And back to Paul Coffey. He winds up behind his own net, and now starts out. A pass ahead to Quinn at the blue line. Coffey to center. Winds, fires, a pad save by Peters, and Stevens clears it back inside the Pittsburgh zone. A minute 15 left in Lou Francischetti's penalty for tripping. The Penguins lead this game 1-0 with 10 minutes to go here in the second period. Gould puts it back inside Pittsburgh ice. Here's Bodger. Into the corner goes Simmer. Played along the boards for Coffey. Knocked down by Stevens. Scott Stevens starts out for the Capitals. A four-man rush to center. Here's Gustafsson across the blue line. Drops it for Stevens. A slap shot deflected on goal, and Peter Angelo makes the save. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Cunningham gets across the line, and Langway steals and clears. Capitals change up again. Gould and Murphy come out. Hatcher and Gustafsson back to the bench. Here comes Coffey into the Washington zone. Feeds it over to Cunningham. Challenges in front, and Peters is able to make the stop, and Gould clears the puck. Cunningham came up with a very good scoring opportunity there after taking the puck in on his backhand. 5 seconds left in the penalty to Francischetti. Sends it ahead to Gartner on the right wing. Out to center. Francischetti's away out of the penalty box. He's tripped up at the line. Loose in front, a backhand shot. And Murphy is stopped. And Gould can't get the puck. And back come the Penguins. Here comes Siren. A right wing pass at the line for Hillier. And Langway steals and sends it all the way back down. Pittsburgh fans love it as they held off the Capitals on a marvelous scoring chance. Here's Villa-Siren, runs into his teammate Callender. The Penguins' Cunningham checked at center ice. There's a penalty call coming here as Cunningham and Hatcher had some contact. This is a delayed call against Cunningham. Out of the nets comes Pete Peters. The extra attacker is on. Rod Langway at the Washington line. Taps it ahead to center ice for Hunter. Hunter across the blue line. Feeds it over to Ridley. Ridley back out to Hunter, a wrist shot, a save by Pietrangelo, the puck behind the net. And finally it's smothered back in behind the goal. And play is called, a 2-minute slashing penalty coming here at 12:16 of the second period against Pittsburgh. There's a break in the action. The Penguins lead the Capitals 1-0.
He is ostensibly beaten, but look at the way he gets that goaltender stick out at the last second and stops it before it crosses the line. Unbelievable save. That thing is up high.
Puck cleared off the boards to center ice, and here's Murphy to Gustafson. The Caps are called offside. Washington has come up with one victory over the Penguins this year. That a 5-3 victory in Washington on January the 1st. Also an overtime tie claimed here in this building on November the 28th. The Penguin victories November the 11th, 3-2 here in Pittsburgh, and November 27th, the Penguins beat the Capitals 4-2 at the Capitol Center. So Pittsburgh with 2 wins, Washington with 1, and then 1 tie. Here's a drive that Peters stops, and Hunter takes it behind the net on the rebound. A minute 30 to go on the Cunnyworth slashing penalty. The call at 12:16. Gary Galley. Back to Gustafson. The Galley puts it in front. Gartner a shot. Didn't get enough wood on it. Pietrangelo makes an easy glove save.
Mike, it's been interesting to see the different performances of the 2 penalty-killing units. The Capitals, almost every time, have easily gained the Penguins' zone. They're not getting a lot of pressure to get in that zone, but the Penguins have spread things out. Look at that. You see 3 guys right in front of Pietrangelo, no Caps in front. Even though they get it to Mike Gartner in a pretty good scoring position, there's a guy on it. Dale Hunter starts to go behind the net, but they're spreading things out pretty well. There's nobody really planted in front to get any kind of deflections in front of Pietrangelo, and most of the shots have come out from around the perimeters. That was one of the rare opportunities down the middle in that slot area, although Gartner couldn't get full wood on it, as you mentioned.
7 minutes to go in the second period. A minute 13 left in Cunnyworth's penalty. Capitals on the power play. Michael Pavanka back to Christian in the corner. Siren jams him up. It's worked free, and Coffey moves it ahead now to Steve Gotis. Back to the point, kept inside the zone by Pavanka. All the way to the left point, Scott Stevens, a slap shot, a save, a rebound, cleared back to the blue line, and Stevens keeps it in. Hatcher tapped into the corner. Siren knocks down Christian, and the puck cleared all the way down the ice. Lemieux comes out for Pittsburgh, along with Dave McElwain. Here's Scott Stevens to start out with 25 seconds left on the Washington power play. Ridley to the blue line. Lemieux takes over now for Pittsburgh at the Washington zone, and has to wait on his teammates to get on side now as Lemieux was playing with the puck right at the line. He throws it in, killing off some more time. Stevens out to Ridley. Caps with pressure, penalties over. Slap shot on goal by Francis-Sketty. Pietrangelo to save. Here's Ridley. The Penguins at full strength. Hatcher a shot. That's blocked right in front. Now Stevens over to Sundstrom. He gets it to Francis-Sketty across the goal mouth, and Hillier was able to swat it out from right in mid-flight. Lemieux from Cunnyworth to the Washington line. Rink wide, and Cunnyworth drives it into the corner. Here's Johnson, a slap shot. Good block by Francis-Sketty, who sprawled in front of that. Now a loose puck gathered by Mike Ridley, and he sends it out to center ice. Lee Giffen to the Washington line. Stevens takes him out. The puck behind the Capitals net. Bob Gould flips it up the boards for Francis-Sketty. Move Francis-Sketty to center ice. Dumps it back into the corner. Bodger starts out to Hunter. Off the skates of Langway, back into the Washington zone. Murphy taps it free. The Penguins get quick possession. And Adams comes away with it now. Led all the way to center ice, and Pittsburgh starts back. Dan Quinn can't get the shot off. Langway was right on him. Loney tries to go to the side of the net. Langway hauls him down. The fans want a penalty. There is none. And here comes Gould to start out. Flips it back into Pittsburgh ice. Pietrangelo plays it to the side of the net. It's cleared off the glass and taken now by Dave Hunter. Into the Washington zone, and Scott Stevens. Long right wing pass out to center ice. Christian drives it into the Pittsburgh zone. Gotis overskates it. It comes back to Loney. Christian checks him. It's thrown to the side of the net. And Pietrangelo plays it up the boards. Out to center. Christian dumps it right back in. 3:25 to go in the second period. Penguins have a 1-0 lead on a power play goal in the first period by Mario Lemieux. Adams lines up Steve Gotis and bumps him off the play. Gotis heads to the bench. Now here's Siren cutting in. Gartner hooks him. A jam up on the backboards, and finally the puck frozen. Play call with 3:01 to go here in period 2. There's a break in the action with a score. The Penguins won, the Capitals.
Weekend of hockey ahead for the Capitals. Friday night at 8 o'clock, the Islanders in town. That is beach ball night. All kids 16 and under receive a beach ball. And on Saturday night, the Rangers square off against the Caps at 7:35, and all fans 16 under attending that game receive the full-size Mike Rogers road poster, sponsored by Pepsi. You can get your tickets at all ticket center outlets. Text or phone charge at 432-0200. In Baltimore, 481-6000. Operators will be on duty until 10 p.m. tonight.
Jock Callender from center puts it back inside the Washington zone. Here's Larry Murphy. Over to Bengt Gustafsson, a right wing pass ahead for Miller. Into the corner goes Kelly Miller, tries to get away from Coffey. He's spun around and knocked down on the play. And Callender has trouble standing on his skates in the corner. Here's Gustafsson with a puck. He centers it right on, a save by Pietrangelo. He stops Kelly Miller. Back come the Penguins. Callender ahead to Cunnyworth, to Lemieux at the blue line. Lemieux a shot. Pad save by Peters. Scott Stevens leads it ahead to center ice, and Miller starts back for the Capitals. He's got Corriveau on the left wing. The pass goes to the corner, and Gustafsson and Callender tie up. And Lemieux comes in and takes the puck. 2 minutes to go, second period. Hatcher off the glass, back to the Pittsburgh line. Coffey works it across the center ice line and then puts it into the Pittsburgh bench out of play.
Scoring chances at both ends of the ice. Kelly Miller with a good one for the Capitals. He creates the turnover in the corner and then watches he heads towards the net. Bengt Gustafsson will send it in. Kind of change of direction towards Miller by Ivan Corriveau, but in close again. Pietrangelo comes up with a tough save. Then Mario Lemieux, 1-on-2, still gets the shot between the Capitals defensemen and forces Pete Peters into a quick pad save.
Kevin Hatcher up to Michael Pavanka at the center ice line. Hilliard drives it back into the Washington zone. Mike Gartner steals, sends to the side of the net. Ridley in front. Pavanka is stopped on a dazzling stop by goaltender Pietrangelo. What a play. Back into the corner. Hilliard tries to clear it out. Gartner puts it in front. Pavanka's stick was held by Quinn. Back on the Penguins. Lee Giffen to the line. Langway takes the man. And the puck is taken by Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher cutting in on the right side. Can't get it centered for Adams. We're in the final minute of play in the period. Johnson jams up with Adams. And the puck cleared all the way down, and this will be icing now. Back to get it is Hatcher, and the whistle blows to bring the faceoff back into the Pittsburgh zone with 42 seconds to go in the second period. And once again, the Capitals presented with some great scoring chances. This time, goalkeeper Frank Pietrangelo was sparkling in the net.
Well, Mike, there's no doubt Pietrangelo has been terrific, but the Caps have helped him a bit. Now watch where Michael Pabanka gets the puck. If he gets it away right now, he's got a better chance, but he holds on to it. I know he's getting ridden off. He's got people on him, but he had this stick on the ice. If you can get this thing to go just a hair quicker, you got a chance to beat the goaltender before he can get over. Right there is where you try and snap it. Looks like it may have been a little bit on the heel. He got it into better shooting position, but the Capitals have had great chances. No doubt, spectacular goaltending by Pietrangelo, but they certainly have had their opportunities and have not taken advantage.
Mario Lemieux wearing the captain C as the captain of the Penguins in the absence of Dan Frawley, who is injured. He was the Penguin captain at the beginning of the year, and with Frawley out, Lemieux's the captain of the team. Hunter against Mario Lemieux. Brings it back to Stevens. Bounced away from in front of the net. Here's Doug Bodger. Off the boards to the point. Scott Stevens keeps it in. The puck sent back into the Washington zone with 20 seconds to play in the period. Here's Stevens ahead for Greg Adams. Now to Larry Murphy. Left side pass. Christian taken out of the play, and back comes Coffey now for Pittsburgh. He launches one that rolls all the way inside the Washington zone, and Peters moves it up the boards as time runs out here in period number 2. Shots on goal in the second period for the Washington Capitals, 10, a two-period total of 19. And the Pittsburgh Penguins with 13 shots on goal. Their two-period total is now 25. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll take a look at the final round of the Washington Capitals golf tournament. That and more coming up here on DC 20.